a nation united in grace.
Just try if cannot, but leave these two lights here in case we cannot. Then we just revert to this one, okay? Okay. The banner also saying it, we didn't tape properly. I started in entertainment very young. Right after SPM, which was Form 5, I auditioned for an ensemble role, which was Savages, that was produced by Actor Studio, Farida and Joe. This is before KLPAC, before even Actor Studio Bangsa, which is no more. I was, 17 going on 18. And then after that, I got my break into television with Kopitiam really fast. And after Kopitiam, then I started doing MC work. So from a theatre actor into a TV actor, but it was still very comic-based, comic actor. And then I did MCing, and from MCing, stand-up comedy. Apparently, this is a story that was told to me that when I was really young, I used to live with my dad in the Air Force base. And so all the kids in the Air Force base would want to be like their dads, pilot, soldier, etc., etc. I said clown. I want to be a clown, probably because I associated humor with clowns then. I mean, as a child, I guess, it's like the physical humor. I found that, I remember vaguely I had to entertain a lot of, not had to entertain, but my dad would have a lot of his juniors. He was like the commanding officer. A lot of his junior officers would come to the house, and I would put up shows and entertain these soldiers. I do have a pretty obsessiveness about comedy, where I really go out of my way to find a funny in anything, which can be quite annoying if you're trying to have a normal conversation with me.
What's it like working with Douglas? I genuinely enjoy working with Douglas because I think it's...
You got fan.
Sorry, a bit famous.
Take two!
What's interesting about working with Douglas is that I think he's very meticulous when it comes to setting up the show. For example, like our sound checks is done at least 2 hours before the show.
Reduce high end at bass.
Increase the laughter. So. Hi, good evening. My name is Jenhan. Thank you so much. The show has been sold out.
Hey, full volume, bro.
I think Douglas is very blunt in a good way. That, you know, if there are ways to improve your performance, he'll just tell it to your face, regardless of how you feel, and you know it's only for the better.
I think it set a benchmark for the production value of a stand-up comedy show, and all the things that he's done, like a sound check, a light check before the show, a run before the opening day. Other people who have never done this before have seen that this is the standard that we have set here. Like, I think from now onwards, whatever show we do, we'll follow this, the Douglas protocol. I remember 2 years ago, one of the first MACC shows I performed in, they did a sound check, started at 6 PM the day before. And then suddenly, as we're about to wrap up, then there's a little buzz in the speakers. And Douglas was like, "What's that buzz? What's that buzz?" I couldn't hear the buzz, but only Douglas could hear it. And we spent like the next 2 hours finding the source of the buzz. So that's how meticulous the Douglas protocol is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MACC's brand new comedy show for 2014, Planet of the Apex.
Besides doing stand-up comedy, what Douglas said is true. I'm also a full-time practicing medical doctor in Kuala Lumpur, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. It's okay. No need to clap on it. Okay. Government doctor, no money on. That's why.
I'm a bad boy now. Oh my god, he's so hot. Because now, if a girl asks me, what's your horoscope? I'm gonna say Scorpio lor. Any football fans here? Make some noise. Woo! When the Manchester United fans here, make some noise. Good luck. That's the only noise you will make this season.
As a stand-up comedian, the one thing that is constantly on your mind is when the next job is going to come in. So no one pays me a fixed salary to be funny. It's almost like a constant interview, because every show you do, people are evaluating you, and that will decide whether they watch your next show or whether they hire you for another gig. So you have to constantly prove yourself. You're constantly being judged. I also have like downtime. I'm not happy all the time. I'm not funny all the time. But yes, I'm obsessive about comedy. I want to find the funny. I used to be a real firm believer in inspiration, and then I started to get more work, and I guess generally I don't have time for inspiration anymore. I've got a deadline, so I've got to somehow grind and make sure it comes out. I can't tell you what inspires me. Perhaps just funny things that happen, or things that happen that get a big reaction, or things that get a lot of attention. I would use that as a basis for a lot of my jokes and a lot of my material, because I see the potential. But very seldom does a joke land on my head fully formed, or it just goes like, this is funny, yeah, and never happens.
He weaves comedy and current affairs very well, and I think it resonates with a lot of Malaysians. So like, this probably because Douglas reads a lot of papers and news.
His ability to parody songs. Oh, that's something that I think the three of us.
No, that's something only Gio has ever tried doing on his own and failed miserably.
Because he's not Douglas Lee. Now when I listen to these songs on the radio, right, I have to sing it in the lyrics that Douglas has put in.
No, I think one of the most memorable songs that we had a lot of feedback was Yellow. Based on Beyonce's Halo.
Yeah.
So people were listening to the song on the radio because it was a very popular song. Halo, and also Justin Bieber's Baby.
I cannot listen to Baby without like thinking of pork anymore. That's how. Barbie, ba. Can't be mad hungry.
Why politics also features in my work is because I find that a lot of Malaysians now like politics, or not like it, but they are aware of what's happening, maybe through other forms of media. Like the alternative media, and so that is in their psyche. As an entertainer's job, my job is to guess what the audience wants to hear, or what they know, their body of knowledge, and try and match that with my set.
I'm very disappointed at the reaction by Teresa Kok, because can you please react a bit more Chinese? Alright, because right now this is how she acted, okay? We will offer 1,200 ringgit to whoever will slap Teresa Kok. And she's like, this is very dangerous, I'm going to make a police report. Not Chinese. This is how a Chinese person should have reacted. I'm offering 2,000 ringgit to whoever they will slap Teresa Kok.
Comedy audiences really like it when you speak of taboo topics, the racist jokes, the jokes with the political theme. And why they like that is because there is no other avenue for them to get such comedy. You don't get that in the newspaper, in the TV, on the radio. Stage is the only place where you can get that, or internet. And so, because they expect that, my premise remains the same. Let's say men and women are different. But if I can pull a reference which has a political or a race or a sexist or it's like, you know, a gutter reference, then I would put it there. But I think the main thing to understand is that the joke is very rarely about that thing. That thing is used as references or as insinuations.
The whole issue, like the Allah issue, and even in the Teresa Kok video, it was used to create an enemy where there is none. And this is the example I use as well. A lot of comics have used this, where you know you get like a Malaysian who supports MU and a Malaysian that supports Chelsea at a bar, and they're arguing until a Singaporean shows up. Then the Malaysian will gang up and poke fun at the Singaporean, and they will keep doing that until a Brit shows up. Then the Asians will gang up and like make fun of the British, and then an American shows up. Then the Commonwealth will gang up against the American, and think back the last time where the entire human race united as one. When was that? Independence Day. When the aliens attacked, the whole human race led by Will Smith and the President of America, the world was as one. Only when there's a common enemy, the aliens. So that's what Azmi was saying. He said that the ruling government needed to show support. How do you make support? You create a demon. You create an enemy so everyone will rally behind you. Like, see, last time our parents all, you know, we don't talk about unity, you know. Last time we were just united. Malay, Chinese, Indian, we were all united. Yeah, you had the British then. You had a common enemy. What we need now is a common enemy. But, you know, we need to be invaded by a foreign force. But it can't be Indonesia because, like, then the Muslims might gang up, you know. Or it can't be Singapore because then it will seem like the Chinese. Get the French. They've not beaten anyone at wars. Vietnam kicked their ass. Yeah, we should send someone with bad taste to France, insult them enough for France to invade us. They will invade. The British will come help us because they hate the French as well. We'll be united. Malay, Chinese, Indian, like Kadazan, Dusun, everyone. We'll be attacking them with anything. Chinese will be throwing lapchong, like blow pipes and shit flying around. We defeat the French. We're united. They leave. Their cafes are still here. We saw perfect Malaysia.
If I didn't meet Douglas, I guess we'll still be doing shows, but it's very difficult to have a show that has so much camaraderie. Is that how you pronounce it?
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie. Because it's very fun to perform at MACC when we come and we kind of tease each other a lot. It's very bro, you know.
Among all the shows of my career, MACC is the one that I'm the most nervous about before I come on stage and perform. Because I think there's so much at stake.
Because if you fail out there on stage, you hear, you know, silence. But you come back here, you know you're gonna get it from Douglas. And not
Douglas
just
will
not
shout
just for
out
that
stuff.
moment only, not just for that moment, it's throughout the whole run and the runs after that, you know, next year.
Yeah. When I first joined MACC, so Chiho had a joke, let's say joke A lah, when he was telling it backstage to Douglas. Douglas was like, that's not a very good joke. So fine, let's come the show, Chiho goes on stage, he does the joke, the crowd laughs really loudly. Douglas is backstage and Douglas is like, don't laugh! That is not a good joke! Don't laugh! But backstage I was backstage and I could hear it. I'm thinking, wow, this show, the only heckler is the producer of the show. And that's the kind of guy he is.
And to end that story, that joke A, did not work on the last show. I remember did not work, and I can hear I was performing. I can hear Douglas going like,
Correct! That's right! That correct!
Yeah.
This is the show he's producing, no? Not like an enemy comedy show, his own show.
My name is Douglas Lim. Thank you very much. Bye.
And 1, 2, 3.
Okay, thank you. Alright, thank you.
tonight's crowd is really, really good. We cannot ask for more.
MACC is always great fun, you know, because
Somewhere.
I get to perform with my very good friends Douglas, Chiho, and the other guy, Jason.
This Planet of the Apex from MACC has been absolutely amazing. We sold out all our shows and the crowds were absolutely red hot, and I personally can't be more grateful for that. Thank you so much. This has been amazing working with Douglas.
I was working with Douglas.
I mean, when working with Douglas is so inspiring because you're so close to perfection, right?
Cut that out.
To see Douglas's comedies, to see the face of God.